gotta find my son Nemo!
Hello.
Grab shell, dude!
Grab what?
No hurling on the shell, dude, okay? Just waxed it.
Duck!
It's not a duck, it's a pelican!
Now, if you've accidentally clicked on this thinking that this is a review of a Pixar movie, welcome. It kind of is, but not in the way that you maybe perhaps think. Today, I embark on a quest of profound existential proportions, guided not by ancient philosophers, but by a nervous clownfish, a forgetful blue tang, and the most chill sea turtle that's ever been animated. Yes, I am talking about Finding Nemo, the 2003 Pixar classic that, whether you realised it or not, contains the blueprint for living a good life. Now, you thought it was just about a little orange fish? No, this film is a guidebook for human existence. It's basically the art of war, but with jellyfish and seagulls. So I want you to go and grab that metaphorical snorkel and dive in with me, because today I'm answering the question, what can a neurotic fish teach us about happiness, success, and the meaning of life? Lesson 1. Let go of the illusion of control. Or, in other words, stop being Marlin. And if there's one thing Finding Nemo teaches us, it's that life is very unpredictable. One minute you're a happy fish dad with 400 little fish babies. The next, a barracuda wipes out your entire family, leaving you with trust issues and a single slightly deformed son. Marlin, our overprotective father figure, responds to this trauma in the most human way possible by becoming a micromanaging, anxious, joy-sucking control freak. He tries to control everything. He forbids adventure. He overanalyzes every possible danger. He treats his kid like he's made of, fine china, bubble wrapping him in rules and fear. And what does this accomplish? Well, in classic life irony, it pushes Nemo to rebel. The harder Marlin tries to control, the more life reminds him that he is not in charge. Nemo gets captured, Marlin loses his mind, and off we go on an epic journey of self-discovery. Mostly for Marlin, who must learn the most important lesson of all. You cannot control everything. So this is where the magic happens, because the moment Marlin lets go, the moment he stops gripping life with white-knuckle terror, he actually finds happiness. He gains wisdom, and most importantly, he becomes a much better dad. Now, I've never personally tried to control my daughter's lives. I think you've got to let them walk on their own 2 feet, and they've got to find their own way in this life, unless you have to intervene. Like for me, last summer, when my then 16-year-old daughter decided to drink vodka on the beach and pass out blind drunk. Now that did call for dad intervention and a stern warning about the effects of alcohol. She's not done it since. So the takeaway from lesson 1 here, now if you spend your life trying to avoid every risk, control every outcome and anticipate every disaster, you'll end up exhausted, miserable and probably yelling, mine, 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 like a deranged seagull. My lesson number 2 here in how Finding Nemo can replicate life, be more like Dory, or sometimes forgetting is a superpower. Now let's talk about the most lovable, amnesia-riddled philosopher of all time, Dory. Dory is on the surface a walking, or should I say swimming disaster. She forgets everything. She loses her train of thought mid-sentence. She has no real plan, no real map, and no real ability to reflect on past mistakes. Very much like me in many respects. But yet she is deliriously happy. Marlin, with all his caution and strategy, is quite frankly miserable. But Dory, she's out here vibing, making friends with sharks, speaking fluent whale, and fearlessly tackling the unknown. Dory doesn't just move on from bad things, she literally forgets them, which, if we're honest, is a pretty solid life strategy. Can you imagine how much better life would be if we could literally just black out all the bad times in our lives? All the past mistakes and regrets gone. Now, I would love to be able to forget some of my past, or should I say, indiscretions and notches on my bedpost. The less said about Matilda the Romanian dwarf, the better, to be honest. But anyway, we'll move on from that. How many of us get stuck replaying old failures, regretting past mistakes, or beating ourselves up over things that we cannot change? Now imagine if you could just let it go like Dory. Now, I'm not saying you should develop short-term memory loss. I mean, consult your doctor before attempting this, but there's something beautiful about her ability to be fully present, to embrace each moment without dragging the weight of the past behind her. A takeaway here from this lesson: it's stop overthinking, stop carrying around old failures. Sometimes the best thing you can do is channel your inner Dory and just keep swimming. Lesson number 3, find your crush, or the importance of a Zen mentor. Every great hero's journey includes a wise mentor. The Karate Kid had Mr. Miyagi, Star Wars had Yoda, and Finding Nemo it's got Crush, the 150-year-old surfer dude sea turtle. Crush is the embodiment of effortless cool. He rides the currents, he doesn't stress, he doesn't overthink. He teaches his kids by letting them experience life, not by hovering over them like a helicopter parent. And crucially, he drops some of the best life advice ever. You never really know, but when they know, you'll know, you know? Deep, profound, enlightening, and quite frankly, more helpful than half the self-help books on the market. Now, I personally have several mentors in my life, and most of my mentors don't even know that they are my mentor, as I've never ever met them. These are people who inspire me every day and drive me to be a better person now that I'm in my 50s. Now, in fact, there's an actual chap on YouTube called Nick who runs a retirement channel, but I find his no-nonsense, no bullshit guide to life to be completely refreshing and very relatable. Plus, he's doing something that I plan on doing in the not too distant future, and that's to live in a small townhouse in York. Luke Skywalker is another one of my hidden mentors, I guess, in life, because like him, I keep winging it, questioning everything, and somehow surviving on sheer determination. Plus, I also have a habit of dramatically staring into the distance, wondering what the hell I'm doing. Whereas he is channeling the Force, I am just going blank. Crush, like Nick, represents the kind of mentor everyone needs in their life. Someone who's been around long enough to know that most things generally are not worth stressing over. Someone who teaches by example, not lectures. Someone who reminds you that at the end of the day, you've just got to ride the current and trust the journey. So a lesson from this one, or the takeaway from this, would be to find a mentor, find someone who's seen some things, lived some life, and isn't afraid to tell you to chill the hell out. Lesson 4 here is concerned with the tank gang. You remember that scene? Or as I now call this, adapt and overcome, even if you're in a dentist's office. Meanwhile, in the tiny fish tank at a Sydney's dentist office, another life lesson is unfolding. Nemo, after being captured, finds himself amongst the tank gang, a ragtag bunch of fish who have, against all odds, made the best of their captivity. Now, they could sit around and complain, and they could give up, but instead they work together and they form a community. And they hatch elaborate escape plans that involve quite simply disguising themselves as filth. It's quite relatable, actually, to be fair. Now, a perfect real-life example of this tank gang could be the story of Airbnb's founders, Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia. So back in 2007, these two guys were struggling to pay rent in San Francisco. Now they could have panicked, whined, or resigned themselves to, I don't know, moving back in with their parents. But instead, they got creative. They saw that a big design conference was coming to town and hotels were fully booked. So what did they do? They inflated air mattresses in their apartment and charged attendees to stay there, calling it Air Bed and Breakfast. So what started as a desperate attempt to make rent became Airbnb, a multi-billion-dollar company. So just like the Tank Gang, they adapted to their situation. Instead of giving up, they worked with what they had: a small apartment and some air mattresses. They thought outside the box and turned a tough situation into something truly incredible. So the Tank Gang, they teach us the art of adaptation. Life doesn't always put you where you want to be, but you can still make the best of where you are. Be adaptable, work with what you've got, and if all else fails, roll yourself in algae and pretend to be dead. Finally, my fifth lesson on why Finding Nemo has unlocked the secrets to living a good life. And it's all about the seagulls and power of perspective. So now we come to one of Finding Nemo's most profound metaphors: the seagulls. The seagulls have exactly one word in their vocabulary: mine. They are the perfect representation of selfishness, mindless consumerism, and the general chaos of society. They don't think, they don't consider, they just want. We all know people like this. Now compare this to Marlin, Dory and Nemo. They give, they build relationships, they help each other. So picture this: it's 5 a.m. and a crowd of caffeine-fueled bargain hunters is standing outside a department store, vibrating with the intensity of 1,000 seagulls. The doors open and suddenly it's Mad Max Fury Road in the electronics aisle. People are diving, grabbing, pushing and possibly drop-kicking grandmas over a half-price toaster. It's pure mine energy in action. Now contrast that with the people who skip Black Friday chaos, stay home in their PJs and buy the same TV online while sipping coffee. No broken limbs, no existential regret, just chilling vibes. The lesson? You can live your life desperately scrambling for every deal, every opportunity, every fleeting material possession. Or you can be like the fish, build real connections, help each other out, and trust that life isn't just about grabbing more stuff before someone else does. The final takeaway from this point, and it's this: don't be a Black Friday seagull. Be a chill, wise fish who knows that the best things in life aren't found in the discount bin. Life isn't about hoarding, it's about sharing the journey. Finding Nemo subtly asks us, do you want to live like the seagulls, mindlessly chasing the next thing, obsessed with mine? Or do you want to be like the fish who survive by working together, trusting and sharing experiences? My big conclusion: the ocean of life. So what have we learned from Finding Nemo? Number one, you can't control everything, and that's okay. Number two, forget the past and focus on the now. Number three, find a mentor who reminds you to chill. Number four, adapt to your situation instead of complaining about it. And finally, number five, don't live a mine existence. Connect with others. At its core, Finding Nemo isn't just a kid's movie. It's a philosophy disguised as a Pixar adventure. It reminds us that life is unpredictable, messy, and sometimes terrifying. But if we just keep swimming, trust the journey, and find good people to travel with, we'll be okay. And who knew the meaning of life would come from a fish with a gimpy fin and a forgetful blue tang? So go forth, my friends, let go, laugh more, worry less, and most importantly, just keep swimming. Oh, and keep wondering and keep wandering, and I'll see you on my next video. Lesson 1, let go of the illusion of control, or stop being Marlin. Yeah, it was Marlin. You knew that. Damn it. The Karate Kid had Mr. Miyagi. Star Wars had Yoda. And Finding Nemo has Crush, the 150-year-old surfer dude sea turtle. Lesson 5, the Seagulls and the power of stop that. Yeah. Marlin, our it's my arm. I thought it was a ghost in the room then. Conclusion, the ocean of life. That's a good one. Let go of the illusion of control. 1 minute you're a happy fish dad with 400 little babies, bubble wrapping him in rules and fear. And what does this accomplish? Well, in classic life irony, it pushes Nemo to rebel. The harder Marlin tries to control, the more life reminds him that he is not in charge. Nemo gets captured, Marlin loses his mind, and off we go on an epic journey of self-discovery. Now, I would love to be able to forget some of my past, should I say, indiscretions and notches on my bedpost. The less said about Matilda the running into off the better. Oh gosh, I can't believe I said that. Conclusion, the ocean of life. So what have we learned from Finding Nemo? You can't control everything, and that's okay. Forget the past and focus on the now. Find a mentor who reminds you to chill. Adapt to your situation instead of complaining about it. Don't live a mine existence. Connect with others. At its core, Finding Nemo isn't just a kid's movie, it's a philosophy disguised as a Pixar adventure. It... Slow. Too fast? Maybe slightly. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. What do we do? Swim, swim. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. What do we do?